Hey everybody, welcome to FabFit Friday. Today I'm going to be completely honest with you. I have been teaching a lot in May. My May schedule was really booked for the first couple of weeks. I'm going to be teaching the last class for the Frenchy Jeans tomorrow, which I'm super excited about. And I also started a bunch of projects. I have a couple projects I want to show you where I am with them, and I'm going to show you some new fabric I bought from Fabric Mart Fabric so I can show you some more projects I'm going to start while I'm finishing some projects that I have in my pile. So basically this is going to be a, I don't know, maybe a little inspiration moment so I can show you everything I've been working on, what I'm working on, and what I'm going to be working on. Hi Diane, welcome. All right, so first I want to show you the favorite thing that I made last weekend during my classes. I taught for Stitches at Home, and on Friday I was teaching my knit knapsack class, and I have to tell you, I already have a few of these knit knapsacks, so I didn't want to make another mini knapsack. So I had two sweaters, two cashmere sweaters that I had taken apart, and the front and back of the gray sweater was large enough to give me 14-inch squares, which was a little bit bigger than what the pattern called for. I think the pattern was 11-inch squares. So I made a bigger knapsack out of these cashmere fabrics that I felted from two sweaters, and I have to tell you, this is so luxurious. I wish you could feel it. So this will be a wonderful, I'm putting this in my Christmas gift pile for the holidays, because I think, and I don't think my sister-in-law watches my videos, so I can say I think this is going to be for my sister-in-law because I think she would appreciate the style of this, and the feel of it is just so luxurious. So if you're thinking of making a knit knapsack, or if you've taken my knit knapsack class, consider using felted sweaters as your fabric. And you know, if you have cashmere anywhere, this is I think the epitome of luxuriousness. I used the ribbing that was around the hem of the blue sweater for my drawstring casing, and then I used the ribbing from a cuff for my oh, I'm so excited, Diane. Let me just finish talking about this. I used my cuff to top the pocket here. So it's very luxurious, super exciting, one of my favorite makes in May. So that's that. I wanted to share that with you. And now I'm going to show you fabric, Diane. This fabric is so cool. It's organic cotton knit with Lycra that I got from Fabric Mart. I got it during that week when I posted the sale in the Facebook group. I ordered these, and I have to tell you, this is the perfect bottom weight knit. I'm going to use it to make a pair of shorts for my my new pull-on pants pattern. So that's what I'm going to use this for. And because this knit is so stable, I'm actually going to do patch pockets in the back instead of the on-seam pockets or inseam pockets. So this fabric is very, very, very nice. I can't say enough about it. It's not see-through at all, and it's just soft and very, very firm. Okay, it does stretch, but when it stretches, it can stretch quite a bit without killing the print. So it's a very good quality, wonderful fabric. So these are going to be pull-on shorts from my new pull-on pants or shorts pattern. And again, I'm going to create a back pocket, a patch pocket on the back instead of you know, instead of doing those inseam pockets. So you'll be seeing more of this later. Next, before I talk about this fabric, I'm going to put that away. I want to talk about the dress that I started for Abby. And it became a cluster disaster because, number one, Abby couldn't come and try it on. Now, if you've been to my YouTube channel, you've seen this pattern on me because it's the shirt that I'm wearing in the trailer on my homepage of my YouTube channel. Hi Sally, welcome. And I have two versions of that pattern. One is princess seamed and one just has bust darts. And it fits me perfectly. And my shape from my shoulders through my bust are very similar to Abby. So I thought, okay, she can't try it on. So I'll try it on. So let me just show you here. Here is the lining. See if I can get this to be a little bit better. There we go. All right, this is the lining for, back this up for right now. Okay, so this is the lining for the dress that I posted in the group. Oh, let me just stop here for a second. Diane says, I was going to do my Abby dress, but this fabric will be too firm, I think. I think it's going to be too firm for the Abby dress too, Diane. You could use it for the top and pair something different for the skirt, because I think it'd be pretty as a fitted top, but I think for the skirt it would be too heavy, so I do agree with you there. And so maybe make some pull-on pants. I know you have the pattern, or pull-on shorts. Okay, so I want to show you something. Look at how far this fabric stretched. Okay, so if you check out the video on my home page where I'm wearing this top, let me just show you here. I can just call up my my YouTube channel on my phone here. Hold on. So if I go to my channel, oh, where's my trailer? Does not, oh wait, let me go to the home. Oh, so it doesn't show on my phone. Well, that's annoying. Huh. All right, well, I thought I was going to be able to show, I'm sorry, I thought I was going to be able to show you. So, but you know what I'm talking about, the shirt. If there's a blue one, and I'm wearing it, and my ditto form is wearing the second one. So, the point is, the armhole here should be up here. Look at how far, look how much this stretched. So, what I want to try is, I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to stay stitch the armhole, and let's see if I can gather it back up so it's more here, because if not, I would have to pick up the shoulder and get rid of almost 2 inches to get the dart back up where it needed to be. So this stretched out over the course of sitting on my ditto form waiting for Abby to come and try it on. I put it on, and the dart is literally completely below my bust. You can see how low that dart is. So we're going to do a little experiment, because I do want to finish this dress, even though Abby didn't wear it, or I didn't finish it for her graduation. I do want to finish it. So let's try, like I said, I'm going to try an experiment here of gathering up the armhole to see if it will, to see if I can get the shape back. And so another issue with this fabric is it's a gauze, like a crinkle gauze, and if I try to stretch it vertically, you can see it really doesn't have a ton of stretch. So I'm guessing it's stretched because of the curve, where the armholes curve, and it's getting closer to either bias or the cross grain has a little bit of give. So let's just try this. I'm just going to stitch this on here, and I'm going to use black thread in a really big stitch so I can just take it out after I sew. And I also want to show you. So let me go to my straight stitch. I'm going to make my stitch length 5 millimeters. And I'm going to switch my view here. Okay, let me get this a little bit lower. Also, in Connecticut, we're going to have like 95-degree weather. So as soon as I'm done with my FabFit Friday, and I have one more meeting to go to after this, I'm going to be out in my pool getting that ready. All right, so here's what I want to try. Oops. Let me just get this so you can see. I'm sorry. There we go. All right, I just want to make sure this is nice and clear. Okay. All right, so let's try and see if we can get the shape of the armhole back by gathering it up. I'm just going to do it on one armhole. I'm going to start at the base of the sleeve, and I'm going to just get my thread here. I want to make sure I have a long enough thread tail because I want to be able to pull it. All right, so let's try this. Okay, I'm going to move my needle over a little bit here. All right, so I'm just going to stitch this really big stitches here. And like I said, I want to see if I can stretch or gather up this armhole to get rid of the stretch. I knew the fabric was going to grow because of the way it acted when I cut it out. That's why I stabilized the V-neck. All right, so we're going to try this. I'm not going to use my automatic thread cutter because I want to create some tails. All right, let's put this back on. Okay, let me move this out of the way. Get my girl back over here. I'm going to put this back on. Oh, did you guys hear the news? Carol from Ditto Form got an award for innovation in fashion. It's on her Instagram. I am so proud of her. Let's see. All right, so all right, look at this. Look at how amazing this is. Oops. Just sewing around and not pulling it. Look how the bust dart is almost back where it needs to be. It's still a little low, but look at that. Running those gathering stitches almost picked up the armhole to where it needs to be. Now obviously I'm going to need to arrange these gathering stitches, and it's still a little bit too low here, but if I just gather it up a little bit more at the bottom, I can gather that armhole right back to where it needs to be, and the bust dart is still low for some reason, but it's much better than it was. So I'm just going to tie this into a knot here to hold it. Oops. All right, so you can see running those gathering stitches picked up the armhole. And let me just look and show you before the gathering stitches. See how low it is? Look at the difference. That armhole stretched out. This armhole, now obviously it needs some work. I don't want the gathers to show when I sew the sleeve on, but I can work with that. And then I think what I'm going to do is, in addition to that, I'm going to pick up the shoulder. Let me just get my pins here. So I'm going to pick up my shoulder a little bit more to get the dart where it needs to be. So now I only need to pick my shoulder up like a half an inch. Okay, so now the dart is much, much better. All right, so that is how I'm going to adjust this to get that to work out for me. And I will be working on this some more, so you will see more progress of this dress. I'm going to be taking it in widthwise. It's a little bit too loose on me, so it's going to be really big on Abby because she's smaller through her midriff, and her stomach and her bottom half is smaller than my bottom half. So I'm going to have to take this in a little bit. But now that I can get the dart back up where it needs to be, I'm going to keep working on it. So Rachel said, wow, that's amazing. It really is. So just keep in mind, if you're working on a garment and you're going to be either hanging it while you're working on it or having it on your dress form while you're working on it, you might want to stay stitch the armholes so they don't stretch out of shape. Not all fabric will do this, but if you're working with something that has a loose weave, like a gauze, you can see how that just stretches way out of shape. So I will be working on that some more, and now that test is working. So maybe FabFit Friday next week we'll be sewing this dress. So look for more progress on this later. All right, so now I want to show you another fabric that I purchased, and this fabric is so amazing. I really wish you guys could feel through the camera or through your screens to see how nice and soft this fabric is. Let me just move my machine. Okay, so this fabric was Sue's pick. Last Wednesday I purchased it, and it has arrived. So I want to just show you this fabric. I have washed and dried this in the dryer, and it's so soft. I am like dying at how soft it is. All right, let me just make this so you can see. I want to make sure it's sharp here. Hold on. There we go. Okay. All right. So this fabric is a sort of a variegated stripe, and then it's two-faced. So if you look at the inside, it's got little blue and white stripes on this side. So my plan for this fabric is I'm going to be making a color blocked version of the dress I'm wearing. So I'm going to stand up here. So this is my T pattern with my original T pattern, and I made it into a maxi length dress. See, it's very, very long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, the seam is right here. So from here down, I'm going to have stripes going on the bias grain line, and then I might have some straight ones and some going in the opposite bias grain line. So I'm going to have a color block dress that's going to be designed with this fabric like this. So like one panel will be like this, you know, and then the next panel might be like that. So that's what I'm going to be working on with this fabric. And at the end, I'm going to show you my pattern piece, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to design this. So this fabric is really, really nice, really, really soft, and I think when it's against your body it won't be terribly see-through. So you can see, you really can't see me through the fabric, and I have my big lights on, so I think it'll be okay because it's double-faced. So I'm very excited about this. If anyone loves rayon fabric and they want something super soft, like they're wearing their nightgown around in public, this is the fabric. It's so nice. All right, so let me just put this back over here. Okay, so I just want to show you one other thing, and then I'm going to show you, how to design that color blocked skirt part of this dress. So that's what I'm going to do today in 1 minute. So now let me switch back to my table view here. Okay, so I taught last weekend how to make jeans into a skirt class, and this is my skirt in progress, and I just wanted to show you this. I did post it on my Instagram, but I'm really excited about this skirt because these jeans were one of my favorite thrift store finds from many years ago, and it's been many years since I've been able to wear it because I grew out of it. So you can see here I had to add, probably by the time I sew it back down, like 2.5 inches at the waist to get that to fit me again. So I created a panel down the side seam after cutting the jeans apart that I will use to make it fit at the waist. Then it comes in, so I'm only adding about 1 inch and a little bit here because it really does fit through the full hip. And then it's got a flare at the hem. So I'm going to be working on this until I finish it as well. The cool thing about this is this fabric was fabric I got at the Houston Quilt Festival many years ago, probably 10 years ago. And let me just show you. It's got, let me scoop in here so you can see. Let me make it really sharp. Okay, I think that's pretty, that's not sharp. Let me get my writing here so I can make it so you can see what I'm, oh, there we go. Okay, so this fabric has stripes stitched into it, and they tuft it. So this is like fuzzy. These blocks are fuzzy, and if I flip it over, the part in the middle that isn't fuzzy is fuzzy on the opposite side. So I'm really not sure how they made this, but I absolutely love it. It's like woven fibers into this background fabric. So what I did was I took a piece of double-sided fusible tape and I fused it along the strip, and then I cut them into sections and I fused them to my skirt here. And I think you can see if I lift it up, all of the wear here, there's lots of distressed denim right there. So I thought what I would do is I would use these little, you know, segments to cover some of that area that's, you know, that's been a little bit traumatized, because I'm going to spend all this time making the skirt. I want to make sure that it stands up and I can wear it for a while. So this is another thing I'm working on. These are my little cathedral windows. Okay, so the way that you make these is you basically pleat up a rectangle, and then that's how the wrong side looks. And then as you sew them, you release each pleat at different levels to create this detail. So I'm going to be finishing this, another project. And then I'm going to just show you here, the last thing I'm going to show you is, just fold that up and put that over there. I'm going to make this really big. Okay, so I am going to get out my, I'm going to get a piece of paper here. Just make this a little bit darker so it's not so bright. And I'm going to design the skirt portion of that striped dress. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a piece of paper, and I'm going to cut the piece of paper so it's 30 inches across, and I can kind of see by the markings at the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to cut it right here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to design this. Let me move this out of the way. see. I'm going to put this back over here. All right, and then I'm going to use my big 48-inch ruler. And I'm basically just going to, I'm going to make the center of my paper along the grid here. Like this, so let me just use, I'll use orange here. Okay, so this is going to be my center line. Down here. All right, there's my center line. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure my dress. So like if I'm just going to get a rough measurement from the top of it down, it's probably about 50 inches. So this paper measures 48, so I think we'll be okay. I can add a little bit of length to the bottom of it later. So what I'm going to do here is, I am going to get my, this is my bag of tea pattern pieces, all my personal pattern pieces. So I'm going to get my front out. So just if you guys are not familiar with this pattern, let me just show you here. Let me show you all the pieces. There's my little sleeve. Here's my back. See, there's a bigger sleeve. And then I have the upper back and I have the lower back. So let me just show you this. All right, so the way this, let me just see something. Someone said something. Oh, hi, Pat. Oh, Pat's all for stripe play. Yes, I'm really excited about this. Okay, so I just want to acquaint you to, this is my original tea pattern that I'm wearing that I made into a dress. But basically the back is made of two pieces. So you have the upper back and the lower back. Okay, and I'm going to design the back later. Then in the front, there is the center front piece like this, and then there is the side front piece, you know, and then there's also a little cap sleeve if I wanted to do the sleeve. But basically, this is the pattern I'm going to be working with. It's one of my all-time favorites, and the minute I saw that striped fabric come out of the package, this is what I wanted to make. So to start out, you can see here, I am going to line up this piece with my vertical grain line that I drew for the center line on this paper. And I'm just going to line it up all the way to the top. And let me just put some pattern weights down here. So basically I'm going to trace this. So this is a full front, you know, meaning I don't have to cut it on the fold. Okay, so here is the side seams. Okay. Okay, so here is the top traced. I'm not going to trace the bottom edge so much because we're going to be lengthening it. Oops. Okay, but there is the upper front piece. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to fold the paper in half this way now, just to make it easy to work with. I'm just folding it. All right, so I've got this folded, and I'm going to fold down, you know, the top part of the, just going to fold down the top part of the bodice because we don't need that to work on this now. So what I want to do, I just know for me, fullness-wise, having it be about 30 inches across, front and back, is flattering for me. And it can vary a little bit, but basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to measure at the very bottom. I'm going to measure out 15 inches over here. Pull this over so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to measure 15 inches here. And I'm just going to draw a line. So there's my 15 inches. Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the I'm going to connect over here with down here to make it a full width front skirt piece is basically what I'm going to do now. And I'm lucky that I have my 48-inch ruler because it makes it very easy to connect this. So basically I am going to just line this up, and I'm going to actually cut off a little bit of the fullness. Let me move me out of the way so you can see. Move this over here. Okay, and I'm going to pull this down a little bit so you can see. Okay, so see, here's the bottom of the side seam of the original top. I'm going to cut off a little bit of that fullness just so it's not, I mean, because if I continue the angle of, you know, of the way it's going now, it's going to push me off the end of the paper down there. So to make it match, I'm going to have to trim a little bit here. So for now, let's just draw this line and see how it looks. And then let's look at it, the shape of it. Okay, so you can see that that kind of makes a cool, or a nice gentle hip curve here at the hip, and then it flares down. So that's the shape I'm going to use. And I'm going to, I think what I'm going to do is, I can see through the paper that my other side isn't exactly lining up here. So I think I'm going to just split the difference and add a little bit. I'm going to go with the wider adjustment. I'm going to go down here. I'm just going to, I'm adding the width that is sticking out on the opposite side when I fold it in half. My personal pattern is really traumatized because it's, I've used it so much, it probably isn't square anymore. All right, so I'm going to add 1 inch just to make it so it matches like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the shape out. Now, anytime you cut something out on the fold, you need to pin it so it doesn't slide. So I'm literally just going to put a couple pins in here. Like I'll put one here. I'll put one over here. And I'll put one over here at the top. So really just 3 pins to keep the paper from sliding around. I'm going to cut this out. Oops. And then I'm going to design my striped sections. Now this rayon is not stretchy, so putting the top piece on the bias is going to give me some give. that will allow this to fit. So I'm playing with a non-stretch pattern, and I'm going to try to make it out of this you know, out of that soft rayon. I think it will work. All right, so let's just unpin this so I can show you here. Okay, so I basically added all right, so here is the shape of my dress, and like I said, I want this top section to be on the bias because I want it to stretch over my bust. So I am going to make, let's say it's going to go in this direction, and the cool thing about working with this whatchamajigger gridded paper is if I position my ruler so it's lining up along the grid on a 45-degree angle, that gives me an honest, you know, bias grain line here. So this grain line is going to be here. Okay, and I think I'm going to have it have those stripes coming off the top edge, which is right here on me, this section right here. They're all going to be going in a bias across the whole top. So I think what I'll do is I will have the top piece be something like this. I'm going to have it come down this, oops, a minute. I'm going to have it come down, let me just raise this up a little so you can see better. Okay. Let's see what my phone is here. My mouse moved my screen. Hold on, sorry. Okay. All right, so I'm going to have it, let's say I want 2 or 3 inches on this short side, and then I'm going to have it come at a 45-degree angle. So let's have it do this. So I'm going to have the actual seam be on a 45-degree angle too. So this whole section right here, that's going to be piece number 1. Okay, so, and this is going to be the direction of my stripes are going to be going in this direction. So just to give me some visual cue, I'm going to, let's just draw some stripes on it so we can see. So the stripes are all going to be like this on the front. Okay. All right, so that's going to be the first piece. Let's put a few more things here. Okay. All right, so you can see that that section will be taken up by the stripes going in that direction. Then, let's turn around and look at it like this now. All right, so our next decision is if there's going to be a seam right here. This is a seam. Then I'm going to have my next piece go in this direction, and I think it might be fun if it starts somewhere here, like so it's not attached to the side seam. So how about if we do, I don't know, something like, where's my ruler? Why don't we have it be something like this? All right, so I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to be using the true 45-degree angle for all of the pieces. Hola Maria, welcome. I'm showing how to design a striped color block dress like the one I'm wearing, but I'm going to be using a blue striped fabric for this. So I'm going to have my second section do this. And you notice I'm doing it in a different color. So my stripes here are going to go like this. I'm just going to draw stripes so you can see. These stripes will be something like this. And I think just drawing these stripes will, first of all, it's going to help me line the fabric up because I can use the stripes on the fabric to line up with the stripes on the actual pattern piece. And also it gives me a visual idea of how this is going to look. Okay. All right. I think we get the idea. All right, so those are those stripes. So I've got stripes going that way. Diana's saying something. What is Diane saying? Diana's saying this is going to be so much fun. Oh, I'm so excited about this. All right, so now you can see down here, we're left with this little area. And I think what I might do is put the reverse, or you know, the whiter section of the double face fabric here for something interesting. So let me just show you again the fabric. All right, so you can see these stripes are the stripes that are going to be going like this way, let's say. So these stripes are going to go, we'll just work with the bottom half for now. So I've got those stripes going in that direction. And then up at the top here, they'll be going in that direction. And then here, what if I did, I can use the other end of the fabric to stick it here. So what if in this direction, wait a minute, let me take this off one more time. How about here, they go vertical. Let me use a different color for vertical. So these will be vertical, like this. Okay. So if these are vertical, then okay, so this will be like this, these little vertical blue stripes. And I know I'm looking at the monitor and it's hard for you to see, but the fabric that mostly shows here, it's a white with little blue stripes. So even though you can see those big stripes through it in person, I'm sorry, ladies, my husband is calling me and he's now called me twice. Let me just see if he's having an emergency. Hello? I am. Are you okay? Uh-huh. I would tack it where it's blowing out. I mean, you can put some either like soap on it to make it zip easier through that area, so you're not traumatizing the, you know, the teeth. You can Yeah, it's gone. I would just put a stitch in there. Yeah, zip it up past, and then I would just stitch it there, and then you'll just have to remember to unstitch it when she wants to take it off later. Okay, sorry. All right, bye. Oh. All right, so my husband is shooting a wedding in Newport, and one of the bridesmaids' dresses has a zipper with a tooth missing, and so it keeps popping open there. So my fix for that was to zip it up all the way through that if you can, and then just put a stitch in there to keep that part of the zipper closed. Um, just a funny story, when my husband first started shooting weddings, he would take me along with him as his B camera girl, and I would shoot weddings with him. And sometimes I would actually be helping the bride or someone at the wedding fix something last minute, so I think that's kind of cute that he called me from his wedding to fix a zipper. I knew it was something that he needed my help with because he called me twice, so I'm sorry I answered the phone during my live. Okay, so first of all here, this fabric, you can't see it, but this piece of fabric really, to the eye, not on camera, all of those dark, bigger stripes that you see on the screen, it's really, that's the shadow from the right side here. So what's on this double-faced side is it's white with little light blue pinstripes. So if I put the little blue pinstripes right there, and then on the other end I can take this part of the fabric and I can lay it like this, we can kind of see that this is going to be, this is going to be kind of cool because I'll have one, so some stripes will be doing this, these stripes will be doing this, and then these stripes will be here. Although now that I'm looking at it, I don't know if I love that. Maybe I'll just have it be the right side of the fabric. Let me see here. Let me just do it this way. I don't know. That double-faced white might be too much of the dark blue is showing through. So maybe it'll be like this. But in any case, if I have these going straight down here, and these going like this, you can see we have, you know, that'll be, so the dress stops right here. I know it's hard to see because I'm running out of table space, but basically I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm kind of excited about this. Oh, hi. DIYer girl says, I love how you balance your professional life with your personal life. Whew. I will tell you that J. Stern Designs has permeated my entire life. I do J. Stern Designs every day of the week, so I don't ever have a day off, really. And a lot of the things I do sort of blend into things that I'm doing that are not specifically related. So, you know, I think you kind of become who you are. Like, I don't know, like sewing and designing is my thing, and I think I bring it all over the place. But anyway, all right, so let me just explain the rest of this. I just want to hang this fabric back up because you can see if you leave it in a rumpled mess, it does start to get wrinkly. So let me just put this away. I'll be right back. All right. So I am super excited about this. And so here's the thing. I'm going to cut out a second piece that's going to be the back piece, and I'm going to match up my side seam. So when I get to the side seam of the back here, my choices are, let me just take a piece of, all right, so let's pretend this is, let's pretend I'm butting up my front and back here with this little piece of paper that I added. So I have a choice of continuing whatever section I have in the back, I could continue the lines this way. So when you're looking at the side seam, the stripe from the front is going continually down on the back, or I can have it meet and I can match it in a chevron. So I'm really not sure what I'm going to do there. And then of course, if we switch it and I slide this over, this whole side seam here, notice, this whole side seam is on the, this bias piece here, butts up against the entire side seam except for at the very top right here. So when we look at that from, you know, if we were looking at that from the side seam, again, I would have the option of either, you know, creating chevron, or I could match the stripe and keep it going down across the back. So I'm going to have to play with that. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do in terms of designing the back, but I will show the layout when I finally get to that. But I don't know, tell me in the comments if you have an opinion on whether I should, you know, keep these stripes going this way across the side seam, or if I should be making chevrons in the opposite direction. I mean, those are the two choices I have, really. So it's either going to be a chevron on the sides, or it's going to be keeping going on the sides. And I think my back will be similar. So like if I just draw a quick back, so the back piece will be something like this. You know, up at the top, I'll probably have a section going this way. So this short little side seam right here is going to match this short little side seam I have here up at the top. Okay. So these stripes will be going in this direction. Then below that, you know, I have this big section here. So this, so this really will be the straight, my straight stripes in the back will continue on with, that will meet this part over here. So the, you know, these straight stripes will match these straight stripes in the back. And then this big center section right here is this section right here. You know, so if they're going in a chevron, they'll be going up like this. So that's how my back could possibly look. And I will tell you, I have a dress that I made when Gail and I did Stitching Zen with Gail and Jen. We did a color blocked sleeveless tunic dress, and I did a similar triangle shape pattern pieces. I will tell you that if you have a belly or if you have curves, cutting out your pieces on the bias grain line is very flattering. So just having that diagonal line cross your body really camouflages any bumps you'd like to minimize on your shape. So like when I wear that dress, my tummy doesn't really show. I mean, it's still there, but it doesn't really show. So those are my plans for the striped fabric. So if you have any questions about this, if you're watching this on the replay and you have an opinion as to whether I should make chevron shape going up when, you know, when the back meets the front on the side seams, or if I should have it keep going the same way, post those in the comments. Oh, you had a question. What are the optics with the design? I like the slimming effect. Oh, yes. Yes, it is slenderizing. Now, here's the thing. You can do this with any pattern. So if you have a maxi dress pattern in your stash already and you don't want to take the time to draft a skirt out of a top pattern, you can totally use that. But the important thing to remember is anywhere you cut your pieces apart, you have to add seam allowances to sew them back together. Okay, so just remember, you can cut apart your single piece pattern into a color block or stripe play, whatever you want to call it, but then make sure you add your seam allowance to both cut edges after you cut them apart. So when you sew them back together, you'll end up with the same dimension. All right, so that's my plan with this. I'm not going to cut it apart now because I want to make sure I like the way the back is working before I cut anything. So I might have to adjust some of the edges of these pieces, but that's going to be my plan for this. So next Friday for FabFit Friday, I'll either be working on this dress or I'll be working on Abby's dress, the one that I showed how to take up the armhole and sort of fix the dart. So that's my plan for next week. I do have to tell you, I'm super excited. I'm gonna, after I do have a 3 o'clock appointment I have to go to, but after that, my weekend begins, and I'm going to be spending the rest of the day opening my pool because it's going to be really hot, and I don't know that I'll be able to actually cool off in it by Sunday because literally I have a mosquito fest out there right now, and my daughter just went to go get the big chlorine to open the pool and all the things we need. But I'm super excited to open the pool because I do love to float. So anyway, next Friday I'll be working on one of these two dresses, and on Fit Tip Tuesday I will have another fun topic for you. I don't know what it is yet. I have a few different questions I could answer. But just keep in mind, if you're watching any of my videos and you have questions about it, be sure to post those because sometimes they do end up as a topic for an upcoming video. And actually, don't feel like you're being a pain or you're bothering me by asking me questions, because a lot of times you actually save my day, because if you ask me a question and it gives me a topic that I can work on for a upcoming Fit Tip Tuesday video, you're actually doing me a favor. So I just want to thank everybody for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the summer weather starting up. I don't know if it's turning that way where you guys live, but here in Connecticut, things are starting to heat up. Woohoo! But anyway, and if anybody is watching and they're in my Frenchy Jeans class, I will be teaching the second class tomorrow from noon to 3, so I will be doing that fun class, and so I look forward to working with you. And yeah, so that's my report for today. It was a little disjointed. I really didn't have a project that I wanted to just work on with you, so I decided I would just show you, everything I'm doing, and then I could start designing this dress. So, oh, and here is a funny thing. A few weekends ago, I did the prom gown hem, and I just want to show you a picture. So I never got a good picture of Morgan wearing her dress with her high heel shoes on to show you how lovely the hem was, but I do want to show you how beautiful she looked in her dress. So let me just find a picture. So hold on, I just want to show you. So see, in this picture, she is wearing her dress, showing off her pockets, but she doesn't have her shoes on and she's in the grass, so the hem is actually hanging on the grass. But I do want to show you how pretty she came out. Look how pretty. So this was the dress that I hemmed, and there she is all dolled up for the prom. She had a very, very nice time. So I just want to share that with you, whoops, too. I'm still hoping to get a picture with her shoes on, on the floor. We'll see. But she had a wonderful time, and she looked beautiful. So that was a fun little project that we did earlier this month. But anyway, all right, so I am going to sign off now. Thank you guys for hanging out with me for a little bit. I will see you next Friday, and there will be Fit Tip Tuesday on Tuesday. Um, Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. Oh, DIY Girl says, beautiful dress and beautiful, oh, and young lady, yes, she is. And she's sweet too. So I was so happy to help her hem her dress. All right, I am signing off now. You guys have a great weekend.